Hey, what's happening? It's Bill Smith, back with another Q update. I've been tracking the school shooting just like everybody else has. Spent all day looking through this stuff. There's some extremely interesting things about the founder of the school draining the swamp. All right, Anti-School's got a really good video about it. I suggest you go watch. But this kind of stood out to me, and it bothered me a little bit. It doesn't, it just kind of stuck with me. I don't know why he would spell it out this way. But Q responds to his own post, right? And it says, discoveries must be ORIG organically. Hive mind, Q. So my first inkling, and I bet everybody else thought this, was it needs to be originally organic. But that's not what he says. So if we take that first statement, okay, it could just be that you're not going to find what you're looking for online. It's going to be in some backup file somewhere. And the only way to get to this stuff is maybe to find people who have access to, the actual file systems on site at some of these hospitals that did the psychiatric treatments for these school shooters. And I imagine that's one huge meaning. And I encourage everyone to go down that route. All right, but I'm going to propose something separate that I think it might point to. Now, he spells this stuff out really weird, and he talks about how a lot of the stuff he says has double meanings. He also says how he can't just come out and say stuff because he has to get around the sniffers. He doesn't want to get shut down. He'd like to have his posts be up there so they can be discussed. He doesn't want to take the chans down. So they're trying to keep the communications open, so a lot of the stuff is coded. Some of it is. You've seen some coded stuff already, I imagine. But why did he spell it out this way? So I mentioned earlier that these ORIG files basically point to like backups. So an extension usually containing backup files. And right now he says archive everything offline that you can find, because once you find it and they see you find it, it's possible these people don't even know, like the bad guys, the black hats, the deep state. It's possible that they don't even know the extent of where all this information's at. I mean, the internet is a wild place to be, so I'm not discounting that. It could possibly mean that, and I think people should really track down what this ORIG means in comparison to the school shootings. I bet it's got to do with at least that, all right? So I went and I looked through this huge list of school shootings on Wikipedia. Okay, this is the kind of thing that Wikipedia is never going to miss, everything's going to be in there. I took a couple names and I rolled it through this. This showed up on the search under ORIG. It's the Office of Inspector General for the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. This might be somewhere that you can go look if you want to go spend a few minutes of your own time, cross-reference some people off that list. Now, I did a video. I'm going to move on to what this video is about. This is my theory, or this is a theory I just like to discuss. I did this video, and it's about Fleshgate. Okay, it's about all these CEOs stepping down. And it says, it will be critically important in the coming weeks. Continue to track those who are resigning across all platforms. Now, we're in 2018. Okay, this is January 31st that I posted this. Here's the full list, so you can go check this spreadsheet out. This is the spreadsheet. We're up to, well over, I think we're over 1,000 people now. Incredible. Look at all these people stepping down. You want proof that the swamp is being drained, people? Here you go. Go here and look at the absolutely ridiculousness of the size of this list. Deputy CEO, CEO and President, CEO, Executive Director of News, Treasurer, Controller, Chief Writer, Chairman. I bet there's some bishops in here too, I bet. So what I thought was weird was that I checked this out, and this popped up. It's a stock ticker. And it corresponds to this Ocean Rig UDW. And there's all kinds of dirty stuff happening at this company. I checked, and some of the first stuff I found was that Ocean Rig UDW was filing for U.S. bankruptcy protection, but it's located in the Cayman Islands as a holding company. And It's listed on the Oslo Stock Exchange. Whenever I see anything in the Cayman Islands, okay, I'm thinking high finance, money laundering, and dirty deals. And they want to block distressed debt investors from interfering with a debt restructuring that will slash $3.7 billion from its books. That's billion with a B, people. That's 1,000 million. Think about everything you could do with that. Now, I couldn't find a ton of stuff about this. You know, most of what I find is like stock people that say don't invest in this company. Here's the Wikipedia article. It says they're an operator of semi-submersible oil rigs. I'm not saying that's submarines, but, you know, it's interesting. Founded in 1996, headquartered in Athens, Greece. This is their About page. Okay, it says they're an international offshore drilling contractor providing oil field services for offshore oil and gas exploration, development, and production drilling. Dangerous stuff. And specializing in the ultra deep water and harsh environment segment of the offshore drilling industry. So the most dangerous of the most dangerous. And this is where we get these giant oil spills and stuff. You know, that BP oil thing that happened in the Gulf, that was just a terrible tragedy for the environment. And they weren't involved with any of that stuff, but this is the kind of work that they do. Now, this just happened on January 1st, okay? So this is right after the Trump executive orders. Okay, they appoint a new CEO. And he had been with the company before, but this guy who owns the company, okay, his name is George Economou, and I couldn't find much about him. They're going to talk about restructuring the company through the next chapter of our history as we enter into 2018 with optimism. Now, this is after the Trump executive orders. Now, I checked on DuckDuckGo, which I think is fueled by the Yahoo search engine, and I didn't come up with a Wikipedia hit for him. But on Google, you know, he's got his own wiki page. He's also got his own little script over here on the right. But there's no link to the wiki, and I think that's kind of weird. Oh, wait, there we go. Sorry, I missed that. There it is. So guess what? This guy is a Greek billionaire ship owner of these two places, and the owner of Cardiff Marine. Owns oil tankers as well as dry bulk ships and manages them through Cardiff Marine. He was on the Forbes magazine's list of the world's billionaires on place 707. Net worth $1.5 billion, and that's back in 2015. Now, how does somebody, all right, who can create $1.5 billion in net worth be the worst CEO in the world? This is Seeking Alpha. Okay, they're aggravated. There's a lot of dirty dealings happening in this company. This is the guy that they replaced with the CEO position. And this is why investors are so angry. Someone should go tell this woman to go look in some QAnon. I bet she knows more than what's in this article. He's been called a crook, okay, just straight up. Has an infamous reputation, has stoked market outrage. It gets real bad. I mean, shares in the company are currently trading at $4.62. Back in April, the share price peaked at a close of over $2,000. So this looks like a giant pump and dump scheme in order to free up a bunch of cash. That's what it looks like to me. And the fact that it's run through a Cayman Islands shell company is even more suspicious. And the fact that this happens right after Trump takes office, okay, literally, okay, Trump takes office, and then they're going, you know, it's a pump and dump scheme. And I think maybe she's saying that this was in April, this was before Trump took office. Okay, so I could have my numbers wrong. I'd appreciate it if somebody else would correct some of this stuff in the comments if I'm off. But we're going to look closely at the rest of this article. this basically just shows you how dirty this guy is, okay? I'm going to look at the last paragraph here. It says, multiple reverse share splits like this are very rare. The first 3 of these transactions took the numbers of DRS shares from 700 million to just 1.1 million. This means that shareholders were unable to benefit from small share price movements. And then, following each reverse split transaction, Economu sold shares back into the market. The result, share dilution, and the result was that there was share dilution and a reduction of values for its shareholders. So it goes to $2,000. Now it's at $4. It was a pump and dump scheme. Then, okay, this guy started defaulting on these giant loan payments of $280 million. And the crazy part is that this guy took these loan payments out of $83 million, right? $334 million total, and bought other companies that he controlled. I mean, I don't think this is legal, and this makes sense about why they had to structure through the Cayman Islands. It just gets worse, okay? It just gets worse about this guy. Okay, he lied to the SEC. Now he's being investigated. This was last year again, so this is back in 2017. Okay, back in 2008, though, I mean, even back then, Forbes was calling this guy dirty. Said you'd hardly know how he runs the place, that it's a public company, because he runs it like his own private lemonade stand, $1 billion lemonade stand. And many investors have taken this notice, recently slashing $2 billion, almost half the market value, from his other company, which owns 38 dry bulk carriers. Now, I have not looked into this, but I did a video on those wrecked Navy destroyers who were getting smacked by those cargo container ships over in the South China Sea. Again, I'm not saying that's related, but I'm saying that's interesting, and maybe someone else can look into that, see if there's a connection there. Now, I'm going to do a Google search real quick just so you can see this. Okay, there isn't a lot of information about this stuff, and I couldn't find it really anywhere. It's really spotty. But I thought I got my dates wrong earlier, so I reshot this video, and it turns out, no, I'm on, man. I'm on. December 31st, 2017, Sunday marks the final day for George Economu and his nephew, Anthony Candelis, to serve as CEO and CFO. So we have a CEO and a CFO who stepped down on December 31st, 2017, right after Trump posted those executive orders about human trafficking and being able to pull your assets from all across the world. And guess what? He's not on this list. He's not here. And neither is his nephew, the CFO. Neither one of these guys made the list. Okay, somehow they went unnoticed for a month and a half. So for a month and a half, we have missed this. Okay, so back to this video that I did. Okay, he says, read slowly and carefully. It will become critically important in the coming weeks. Continue to track those who are resigning across all platforms. So we missed this guy. And then he shows up in this other Q post in a double entendre meaning, okay, with the ORIG pointing right back to him. And there's something here. Okay, it gets way deeper than this, I'm sure. This is all I can cover in this video. Okay, we need to look into this guy. It's important. It's important. Keep your head up, people. Stay strong, stay focused. We're winning. Okay, we're winning. This is Bill Smith. Thanks for watching.